to the Fighting Couch Potatoes. I'm Kadawfi Crush, and I'm joined by MattMatt.
Unique Man did it first.
And I'm also joined by my boy Liquid Gold Steve.
Matthew Patel was the dumbest character of this whole thing.
Oh my God.
Matthew Patel.
Patel.
Absolutely. I like Patel because he thought he was a pirate. Because pirates are in this shit.
Pirates are in the shit.
Pirates are in the shit.
If you can't tell just yet, we here talking about Scott Pilgrim versus the World. This is a little movie I went and saw way back in the day when it was in theaters. When did it come out, guys?
2010.
2010. Back in 2010, I got to the theaters with my aunt. We took a peek at this, took a risk actually, because it was one of the movies we didn't know was like, we knew nothing about it. We just happened to be going by the movie theater and was like, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That sounds interesting enough to waste money on. And boy, was it ever. This was a fucking ride. What do you guys think?
Matt, you go first, because you've seen it a couple times. I've never seen it.
Never?
Well, I at least seen it now.
I've never seen it. Let's talk about this.
Let's review it.
I'll review it with never seeing
Well,
it.
from the box art, I tell you what, that kid on the front cover looks like a nerd.
No, he doesn't actually look like a nerd. He looks like a grunge, he just looks like a grunge kid.
Nah, man, Michael Cera can't look cool.
My favorite.
They had a garage band, man.
He still didn't look cool. I'm sorry, Matt, but hold
Go
tight.
ahead.
Now we're in the middle of this.
Wait, he looked cool eventually, kind of.
Never. That kid looks like he is scared of his own shoelaces and he don't go outside.
But he's full of bitches.
In that movie, he sure does.
In that movie.
Let me get to my point about Scott Pilgrim.
So yeah, how'd you like Scott Pilgrim or dislike it, sir? How do you feel?
So, likes, I gotta say, the moment you figure out that he's a beat 'em up character, coolest part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it's with, like, we were making fun of Matthew Patel, and he, like, busts in to the ceiling of the Battle of the Bands.
Yep.
And everyone's like, Scott, move out the way. And, like, his gay best friend's like, nah, he got this.
It's like a King of Fighters fight. When you get two characters that like don't fuck with each other like that, there'll be like a little battle right before the fight happens, and then it's like, all right, the fight. It'll be like a whole combo. Sometimes they do like really cool.
They showed you fast traveling,
little cutscenes and shit. Fast travel was the shit.
Like it was sprinkled in there. You know, you saw it look like the KOs made it obvious. People dropping coins. Ooh, look, some quarters.
$2.35. I can't even get a bus ticket.
So, Liquid, what'd you think of Scott Pilgrim your first time finally seeing it?
So my opinion of this is...
Thanks, Liquid.
Thanks, Liquid.
Thanks,
Back
solid.
to Liquid. Back to a solid. All right, so my first time watching this movie, like the very first time, I thought it was going to be really dumb, honestly. But finding out it was a action beat 'em up, because I thought it was a love story. And yeah, it's a love story for an action beat 'em up.
That's exactly how one of those games
like
would go.
You beat up enough men or enough goons, you get the girl.
It's like, hey, join my squad. Yeah, but my evil ex-boyfriends are still on my tail, so help me out. Okay.
He even said, he's like, so I can fight your evil exes, and we're dating. Okay, let's make out. Like
the part.
So it was a great, and the music was great.
The part where he checks the email and just like skims one of the messages. We've all done that in the game.
The kaiju fight.
Yeah, it was weird.
The kaiju fight for me was like 50-50. It wasn't bad, but there was no build up with the people that Scott was fighting.
Right.
That's what made me have a disconnect with one of Ramona Flowers' exes.
So I've seen this movie like 100 million quadrillion times. When it comes to me with movies and soundtracks to video games or movies or anything like that, I don't fuck with it. You'll never see me own a soundtrack to a movie, except for Scott Pilgrim versus the World. What had happened was, I was trying to download the Black Sheep song from the album. I just wanted to download just that one song, and my signal got jacked up, and I accidentally hit the download all or buy all, and I bought the whole album. And I was like, well, shit, since I got it, I might as well check it out. And I love it. It doesn't have all the best songs ever, but I love every one of those songs for a different reason. And then when we're sitting there watching the movie, I can sit there and like I know what song's coming. I know exactly what song's on the way because I've gotten so deep into that one soundtrack. I'm like, this is my shit. I'm like a weird nerd about Scott Pilgrim's music.
With me listening to the soundtrack, when I was listening to it today, it felt like I was watching the movie in my mind.
Yeah,
you can just like it's happening. Like that's
like
the
soundtrack's
cool.
like in order of how the movie goes down. Like, I don't know if all soundtracks do that, but at least for that, I'm like, yeah, that makes all the sense. This is because it like tells the story over again, like you were saying.
The fucking sorry, I skimmed it. I didn't listen to all of it today, but I did see the song from the Battle of the Bands, the first one.
Garbage Truck.
Mm-hmm. Man, I like Garbage Truck.
A ride. That's my shit. truck.
And the band before him, like the one that's like 30 seconds.
Fucking
Crashing the Boys.
Fun fact: that's an old NES game. Crashing the Boys. Looks like River City Ransom. Mm-hmm. It's like a fighting beat 'em up. It's not a beat 'em up, but it's like a fighter. But it's like a beat 'em up, and it's extreme. Like extreme, like it's like kind of unreasonable for motherfuckers to do the kind of moves they do.
Yeah. Well, again, that's why I like this movie was because like I am a fan of beat 'em ups. Streets of Rage. I've been playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ones. Shredder's Revenge is fucking awesome. River City Ransom. I went back to playing Streets of Rage 2. Almost beat it all the way. Died. Gave up. Sadly.
Trash and dash.
I was playing with Max Thunder, so all I heard was Power Slide. Anyway, hold on, I'm not done yet. And like, I play 3D beat 'em ups and all that. Like what you're talking about with, the soundtrack going that way is a lot of them do because that's the further you go in, every area has its own music.
Right.
Every boss battle has its own music. Like with every intro with every boss battle, right?
Right.
Like when bitch ass Pirate Patel showed up and then like killed the fucking band, and then the fight started. Like that's the cutscene right there, and they show you that. When they start fighting each other, do the whole thing, like all that shit.
Right.
I found it awesome.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And it's super fun. There's actually a lot to eat off of in this movie. Like, as far as like just checking the back, again, I've seen it 100 quadrillion times. I've actually never listened to commentary on a DVD before, except for Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Who's on the commentary?
The directors and shit.
It can't be Michael Cera. He's gonna be.
Well, I think he was there for part of it. I mean,
you just couldn't hear him.
Yeah, it was a while ago I watched it, but I did actually listen to it because I watched the movie with the commentary.
Watch the sounds.
I'm a real big fan of that shit. That was pretty fun, man. Listening to them talk about bits and pieces of the scene, and me have already dove into the movie as far as I thought I could, and then catching the commentary, I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that though. And I didn't know that. Oh, shit. Oh.
Was Ramona Flowers best girl in the movie?
In this movie?
Yes, in this movie.
I feel like I need somebody to give me an answer. I've actually never thought about that.
I believe
I've never thought about that. Like if she was like, because like I mean,
it's to me
it's
like
hard to pick because like who do you have to pick from? Like all right, like you're an outside character, an audience member watching this movie, and you got Scott's sister. You got hold on.
Okay.
You got Ramona Flowers. You got Envy Adams. You got Kim
Pine.
You got her, and you got the child, Knives
Chow.
Again, I call it the child because
Yeah.
It's like, dang. Okay, my fault for saying it that way. I really meant like, was she really the best to like the end girl for a beat 'em up? Was she the best girl for that?
Well, I mean, she's the only reason the beat 'em up exists.
That's what I think too. Yes,
she's with you the whole time. That's one of those stories, And then like now Shao shows up from time to time.
Man,
trying to beat a bitch up.
I just don't like her. Honestly, as the best girl for the end of the thing.
And I have to point something out. With the twins, y'all are talking about, or the kaiju bout, y'all talk about twins, right?
The Katayanagi twins.
So hear me out, right? And I'm gonna do this because I'm a Yakuza fan. That's the only reason I kind of like that scene was because I've done that battle in a Yakuza game.
Oh, no shit.
Yakuza 5, you have to play as Kiryu's like daughter.
Okay.
And she's trying to become an idol in Japan. Like she's famous, right? She done won all the Got Talent shows. She's a rising star.
She's right? Battle of the Bands.
So she has Battle of the Bands. And there's these twins on there that do the same fucking thing. But they're like, dancing and singing. But like, you got to sing your song louder than them. And then get the crowd on your side. And like, everyone's losing their fucking minds. And like, the funny thing about Yakuza games, and I saw in the show, or the movie, was like, they all do the same dance moves. So they're all like, we're using glow sticks.
No
like,
shit.
I
that sounds pretty fun, though. Like, I never even would have thought about doing that in a video game. So is it kind of like a rhythm game at that point, or a quick time event?
It's a rhythm game.
It's a rhythm.
It's a rhythm game, kind of like the karaoke, but like that's how it works when she's fighting out in the street too, because she don't beat people up. She just dance on the motherfucker. And I mean, like heat actions that serve these bitches
out here. Eddie Gordo status. So
she wouldn't beat Goro Majima in a breakdance battle though. That motherfucker can do it.
So in this movie, again with my stupid deep dives, I actually know a little bit about the comics too, just a little bit. It's one of the comic mangas, graphic novels. What the fuck?
Graphic novel. It's a graphic novel.
It's one of the ones on my list of things to sit down and fucking read. So let's kick this off. Scott Pilgrim versus the world. Scott Pilgrim is an asshole dating a 17-year-old Catholic
Japanese schoolgirl.
Japanese schoolgirl. And
uniform and everything.
Yeah, and some of his friends clown him about it. Some of his friends let him, oh, it's pretty cool, weird guy shit. Scott Pilgrim is in a band.
A garage band, mostly.
A garage band that all they do is play secret shows because no one comes to their shows. Scott Pilgrim is apparently a fucking superhero. And it seems that everybody knows Scott Pilgrim is a superhero because there's just random superheroes walking around. Case in point, his boy Steven Stills and his homegirl Kim Pine, they're kind of superheroes too. In the comics, they get busy. There's a moment in the movie where Scott talks about having to fight an 80-foot tall guy in a purple suit and had to beat 100 guys to get through him.
That's the thing.
That's legit.
That's what I was saying earlier about like his buddy Wallace. That shit with Wallace in the fucking at the Battle of the Bands where he like converted that one guy.
Man, he didn't convert him. He knew Jimmy
because like he was already his gaydar was going on.
He already knew Jimmy was trying to hide it. And he was like, "Bring your ass here, Jimmy." But anyway,
no, it was like everyone was sitting there like going. Everyone was like, "No, don't do it." And like Wallace sitting there like, "I've been in the streets with him. I know for a fact that he can fuck this dude up. Fuck this pirate."
So,
I love when he pulls when he's holding the bass and he pulls the string out, and throws it to young Neil, and it was like ready, like hit him with he even said it reversal
because he did. It's like a counterattack he got on his ass because
he hit a combo. He a fucking hell of a combo.
64 or like a 54 or 64 hit combo.
They didn't want to do it. It'd be too much. It was almost there.
What?
A 69 hit combo?
Oh.
That would have been perfect. That would have been perfect, though.
I like the 69 hit combos on Streets of Rage because it comes back and it goes, nice.
Scott did come through with an ultra combo.
But it didn't do anything.
Ultra shit. How many times did he hit Matthew after that? 4?
He hit him once. He hit him with the symbol and then like came in with like the mega kill.
Twice after the 64 hit combo.
Right. Okay.
You could breathe on Patel and get motherfucking boss ain't had no life left. Kind of like Manus. Anyway, so Scott Pilgrim dating this little 17-year-old girl. He's kind of being a weirdo about it, and he has this dream about this purple-haired girl and roller skates, and he winds up seeing her in town, and it's like, oh shit, this chick's like in my dream. She's like in my head. And like eventually she tells him like, nah, you have a subspace highway running through your head and it's really convenient. Fast travel.
Because he does fast travel.
Yeah, well, she fast travels.
No, so Scott is the player character, so he can fast travel. Ramona's the NPC that found it. like, didn't I just see you on the other side of the map? Oh, but you didn't know that door over there will take you across the fucking world.
Yeah, you saw it. He went to the music store.
There's a
he went to the damn arcade, and then he went to get I think he went to the diner.
All that shit was like down the same main road.
See, the thing with that though was Scott was skipping Knives' dialogue.
Yeah,
he really was, because she was 17 and had nothing to say.
Like, in the same time, he was just like, "Oh, what the fuck have I done? What the fuck have I done?" He was
kind of because this is nice, as he said it. You know, he thought it was alright for a little bit, but he ends up kind of falling for Ramona, the purple-haired girl, using his brain as a fucking fast travel. He ends up falling for her and doesn't exactly tell Knives immediately, but dealing with Ramona, just like the fact that he got a date with Ramona, he got a letter. It was
we got to talk about when he had charisma that night at the party.
Oh, you want to talk about the party?
Yeah.
You don't want to do the party.
No, man. At the party, he was like, I don't want to go. Steven Stills had an invite from his ex-girlfriend, or he didn't. He just went to the party. They were like, aren't you guys broke up? Julia Powers.
That's right.
Damn, she has a great name, but she hates everybody.
Everybody.
Well, she hates Scott. She really hates Scott, though.
Scott be fucking up and won't quit fucking up.
But they're at Julia Powers' party, and Scott's like, this sucks. I don't want to be here. And then he finds his boy. What's his boy's name? One with the glasses.
Oh no, the glasses. Oh, Komu. He knows everyone.
Yeah, he knows everyone, and he was.
He hit him with
Scott,
speech check.
Scott showed him a picture. Like, he looked like a madman drew this picture.
Yeah, the scribbles. It's like a circle with some purple scribbles. Oh, yeah, I know her.
That's Ramona Flowers.
That's Ramona Flowers.
You know a girl with hair like this?
She's here? You mean she's here? And
she's here
Scott
right now.
just, like, immediately turned into the Terminator, T-1000, looking for this woman. And was, like, searching everyone in the party. Had a little fucking background music and shit. He wasn't caring about no one else's talking. He didn't want to talk to anybody else. Finally finds her at a wall, a convenient wall. Hey man, that slide in was nice.
He had a nice slide in. Before I let you talk about that full slide in, did you see what was above his head? Like 8 foot up on the wall, there was a fucking light switch. For no reason. Who the fuck can reach that? An 8 foot up high light switch. Small little moments in the movie that matter for nobody. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So he finally sees Ramona, and he goes up to her, and he pulls the same cheesy ass fucking.
He fails the speech check. That's what happened. Because the rest of the night he was doing good. It's like,
no, he's
hide, succeed. Hey, do you like ice cubes?
You know, but he had the cup. He came up to her with a red Solo cup, and when as soon as he did his cool little slide, he squished it.
No, he squished it when he saw her.
No, he squished it immediately. He was holding that the rest of the night.
It doesn't matter. He looked raggedy. Is what I'm trying to get at. That's the point. He looked raggedy.
Do you know what they used to call Pac-Man?
Pac-Man. But they changed its name because it could be turn into an F real fast. I'm
gonna leave you here forever.
I'm gonna leave you alone forever.
And then stalks her through the party
until she left. Like those were those panels right there where he's like going through the party and then stalking her. Those are the comic book panels.
And you know, Julia Powers was an older character. She didn't know that the girl left, so she had old dialogue. She's like, I don't want you to mess with the coolest person on my party, and she was already gone.
She's been gone.
So that's like old text.
She's been following around the whole night trying to talk to him.
I love how Julie got pissed the fuck off and was like hollering at Scott and just shut the party down. Everything got she cut the power out.
Yep.
Julie got powers too.
Oh, that's Wallace. Let's talk about Wallace's power. No, but like when Wallace is texting his sister and he's dead asleep, right? How old is this girl? It's like, how the fuck did you find out? It's like, you just ended the last conversation. This is the next one, dude. Like, he's been told me.
Wallace himself is information.
He's 411
all day and tomorrow. With them old flip phones, when you get shit, the old flip phones, you can text without looking at them. You can have a whole text conversation without looking at them bitches. They stay in your pocket. Wallace was good on it.
I think that's so what it's for.
When he gets close to Ramona, what would you do if you had an email like that? Like, what would you do?
The same thing he did.
So it's before he actually even gets close to Ramona. He's trying to order a package. Was it Amazon.ca?
What's the damn the shit?
What's the website for Amazon?
Yeah, what's the Amazon for website?
He said, "What's the website for Amazon.ca?" And he woke Wallace the fuck up out of sleep and was like, "What's the website for Amazon.ca?" He's like, "Amazon.ca." He's like, "Thanks." It's like it's like asking, "Hey, what's Yahoo.com? How do I get to Yahoo.com?"
You didn't know the password, dude. This shit's got.
What's the number 911? I need anyway.
That whole apartment was retro as fuck.
It was very dingy, and two dudes live here.
In the same bed.
Hey,
and one's straight and one's gay.
Steve did point something out to me. How did all three of them boys sleep on that bed?
How all four of them boys slept on that bed.
Human centipede.
Oh my God.
Scott Pilgrim is straight as an arrow, but he sleeps with a gay man.
That's what makes him straight.
I don't know if that makes him straight. I don't.
But he's a straight man, but he sleeps in the same bed with a gay man.
Boy said that's what makes him straight. I need you to take that context out of the movie and tell me one time you knew a guy, a straight man, that slept with a gay man, and that made him much more straight.
Probably the scaredness of the night.
All right, we're getting into we need to get into the damn movie. So I'm ready to talk about.
So all right, so at this point, this is kind of what we're getting to. Before Scott even orders at Amazon, he gets an email, and it's like, "Hey, I got mail," and his email is from a Mr. Matthew Patel, and blah 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 blah. This email is so boring. He deletes it, doesn't read the shit. Then he orders his package, goes out on his little date with Knives again. Kind of, sort of breaks up with Knives, sort of, kind of, maybe a little bit.
You gotta see other people,
and then ends up running into Ramona again at his house when she delivered his package.
Yeah,
convinced her on a date.
He didn't convince her.
Creepily convinced her.
He blackmailed her into a date, and then threw the package away.
Yeah, he didn't need the package.
Scott Pilgrim threw the package. Threw the package away. Like
that shit. Oh, that's great.
But
like any person in real life did that. That's called a creep.
Oh yeah, all day and tomorrow. But because it was creepy looking Scott Pilgrim, and he looked like a little worm man who can't hurt nobody.
And everyone knows Scott Pilgrim in this town.
He ain't got no chin. That man ain't got no chin.
He just looked like a little worm man. But thanks, Michael Cera, for being a little worm man. So right here is kind of like how this part of the movie kicks off with Ramona having the 7 evil exes. This was Matthew Patel as her first evil ex, sending the email trying to inform Scott, like, "Hey, we're coming to fuck you up, and this is why." Scott didn't read it, blah, blah, blah.
Because it's boring.
So the writer of this comic, this story, this graphic novel, I forget his name. I don't remember his name, no lie. But he wrote this book because the woman he was getting ready to marry at the time had like 5 ex-boyfriends, all with the name Scott. This is kind of where he got the idea of the 7 evil. He kind of made a joke in his head, haha, the 5 evil Scots coming to kick my ass. And he chose the name Scott Pilgrim because of the song Scott Pilgrim by Plumtree. That's when did you hear that song in the movie?
And he wore the shirt.
And he did wear the shirt.
He wore the shirt at the battle of not the battle of the bands, but
it was at the first battle of the bands.
The first battle of the bands is when he wore the shirt. But
when Ramona and Knives met.
He's like, we gotta play loud.
Oh shit,
bro! That motherfucker's like, no, not when I gotta pee on her. Which one was that?
This one was like he brought Ramona to. He's like, please come to my battle of the bands,
right?
And she came, and the sister was there, and the not gay boyfriend of the sister, Sarah Pilgrim.
Hey, Stacy
Pilgrim. My bad.
Stacy was an asshole.
Like, no, she wasn't. She was a little sister.
She ain't had to.
She was a little sister.
She ain't had to come up there and blow his fucking spot up.
No, she didn't. Knives blew it up when she ran up on him and kissed him.
See, Scott could have got out of that, right? He's half a rock star, whatever, right? Fan got lucky, whatever. But his sister over there instigating. So Knives, how do you know Scott?
Yeah, okay.
Hey, all right. Why Stacy fucking with that? That's why her little boyfriend got snatched. That's why he got snatched.
And Scott was like, "Oh my god,
we gotta play. We gotta play now." He
slapped Steven Stills 3 times and said, "We gotta play loud. We gotta play right now."
Fun fact in this scene, I'm gonna let you go. 1 second. I'm sorry. Fun fact in this scene, Kim Pine states that she's upset that the drummer of Crash and the Boys is a girl.
They even got a girl drummer.
Now check every band you see in the movie. All girl drummers. Why was she mad? Why was she mad? Because they all get mad.
Wasn't she? She was Scott's ex too.
Yeah, she
high
is.
School.
And then like she's sitting there staring at him at the party.
She had freckles. Yeah, man, at the party, Kim just sat there looking like
she watched him the whole time. She was watching him follow Ramona around.
She was in every scene in the background like a Puma.
She would have beat his ass.
I still don't believe you on that.
Oh, that'll be coming up on the podcast soon.
So they play one of my favorite songs too, "Garbage Truck." That's when, man, I still like the soundtrack. Not all the songs are good, but some of the songs are really, really good.
Yeah, Garbage Truck's really fun.
The reason I like Garbage Truck, it reminds me of like a Tony Hawk game. Like I could hear it.
The whole soundtrack does.
Yeah, you could do it too.
It's punk rock.
It's grungy rock too. Like,
emo rock,
real fast, going back to the very beginning. I love how they opened up. I love how they opened up with the big ass fucking living room and the Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, the title card?
The title card.
That was awesome.
The title card was awesome.
But getting back to the thing, he's like, we gotta play loud and now. And that's when Matthew Patel shows up.
He just bust through the roof, fucked the whole song up. Garbage Truck wasn't over yet. There was like another half a verse to it. Like, damn, why you fuck it up?
Because he said crash.
Whatever. Fuck him. Matthew Patel. Matthew Patel is also the only reason why they went on to the second round.
Yeah, because he killed the damn...
He crashed in the boys.
He killed Crash and the Boys. Is that girl a boy too? He killed Crash and the Boys. Patel and Scott, we've talked about that kind of to a good extent at this part. Scott whoops his ass at the end of it all.
Hits him with 1,000 points.
Matthew Patel has like this really cool, hipstery kind of song that he comes up with, kind of just like out of nowhere, like a musical. And then he has his cool little demon hipster chicks that throw fireballs for him, while he can throw fireballs too. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but
probably one of his attacks in the game.
His summoning jutsu failed when Scott hit him in the face with a symbol.
Oh, one thing about that scene that was really cool was the flashback when we were like the whole spotlight goes on Ramona, right?
Righteous.
And it's like how do you know him? It's like he was the only non-white football player,
non-white, non-jock.
Yeah, not at the school, right? And it was in the graphic novel. Mm-hmm. Like it was the
right. They were showing the panels,
which I thought was really awesome.
Fuck yeah! Like I really like that art from that thing because it's like it's hard to make the people look like the artwork, but these characters these people that they pick to play these characters fit it well somehow. They fit that weird cartoony style somehow.
I would like to see Lucas Lee then, because I don't know if there's a cartoon Chris Evans.
Didn't they show Lucas Lee?
No, as his
cartoon part.
It was like it was a real small thing. Like it was him turning around because she took
his number 3 came through.
Todd Ingram,
the realest one of them all, came through.
Man.
Sorry, Playboy.
Lucas Lee. Oh yeah, that's Lucas Lee right there, boy. Bucko.
Yeah, I can see that dude saying Bucko. Oh man.
When Chris Evans said Bucko in the phone booth, I was like, no man.
So,
no.
As you can tell, we're moving down to the second fight, the second Evil X. Steve, go ahead.
Hey, even Wallace Wells had the information. He was like, yeah, he's a pretty good skater. Now he's a pretty good actor. And I've been stalking him because I want his adopted kids.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm gonna be. He even set up the battle later on. He said, yeah, so you guys are gonna have a date with Ramona, and I'm gonna be at the set where Lucas Lee is, where he's filming his newest movie.
Right.
I'll see you guys down there. And fucking Ramona and
Scott.
I want to call him Michael Cera so bad. It's just like
Michael Scott.
Scott. God. So Scott and Ramona have their little weird fucking date in Wallace's house or Wallace's apartment, and they go to the set, and fucking Chris Evans come out the fucking at the wardrobe.
Why did he keep moving his jacket? He kept correcting it.
Because, man, he's a douchebag.
No,
he's Lucas Lee, the douchebag.
He put up the jacket, and then the music started, and he cracked his neck to the fucking the Universal. It had to have been the Universal shit, or
Universal
whoever.
music,
Because he was like he was the movie star. First of all, he goes to set on a skateboard.
Yep.
Stops, and he says action, not the director.
The director goes, and he goes, action. He just snatches it from the director's like, all right, fuck you.
This is Lucas Lee. I can't say nothing. And fucking, he says some cheesy ass action line. What the fuck was it?
The only thing keeping me and her apart is the 2 minutes it's gonna take to kick your ass. Hey, I'm talking to you, Scott Pilgrim.
He's
the only
to
thing.
Me. That's Lucas Lee.
After he said action, they recorded that.
They got that. They got that footage. And then Lucas Lee apparently has shadow clone jutsu also. He had how many stunt dudes? Like 8 stunt dudes?
Oh, we gotta step up. We'll step back 1 second.
Step up, personal space. Step up, personal space. Go ahead.
Let's step back for a second. After he says that cheesy action line and he goes face Scott Pilgrim, I like when Scott's like, can I have your autograph? And he punches him in the face and he's like, can I have your autograph, please? And he was punched again.
He was just so like stunned to be being around an action star.
Yeah,
and
that was cool.
His name and he's like, oh man, I'm a somebody. Pow.
and then he just and this is when I was like, okay, this is an action. This is just a beat 'em up. He throws him into like a fucking Disney style fucking castle, which was cool as fuck. And Scott lands on some concrete and he gets up. And then that's when
He's like dusts it off.
He's like, okay, first shot.
See, he got damaged in the cutscene. It's different. Unless you get shot in the cutscene, then that shit's for real.
The fight was when
you get shot so many times in a beat 'em up or RPG. Doesn't matter. Get shot once in a cutscene. Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's true too.
When Scott started fighting the stunt doubles and they started stomping his ass, and Chris Evans comes over and says, "Hey man, you guys want something? Drink? Sandwich?" No, we're good, man. He's stomping his shit out.
It was all his voice. No, we're fine. No, we're fine. No. It's all his voice. And like,
I like how Scott got beat up by Lucas Lee. Like the whole time, he like missed the punch because fucking Lucas Lee went for a kick and kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah, I mean, Scott thought he was gonna be on Lucas's level for a second, but he got kicked through that fucking building or not the building, but that set building. He got kicked through that and he landed next to a big ass rail. And hey man, can you do a thingy on that grindy thingy?
No, that's another one of those. That's another one of those speech checks because like he got punched out of the battle, and the game was like, "All right, try talking to him."
He put his Yakuza. He tried to bow out.
He tried to escape. That's what it was.
Oh,
he's a Pokemon battle.
He hit run. It was
he did. He played.
Hey, can you do one of those grindy thingies? It's called a grind, bro.
It's like, can you do one? Pulls his shirt down. I have my own. What is it? Fucking God damn, I fucked that up.
Skate company.
Thank
my
you.
own skate company.
He's got his own skate company. Fucking, of course they can do it. You know, the rails are trash, and then it's
there's girls watching. Get me my board.
And here comes Wallace. Got his board. Hey, Wallace was holding his board next to him, apparently, the whole time.
The last thing Lucas Lee said before he did the grind was perfect. He was like, Wallace was like, I'm a big fan. Why shouldn't you be? And then fucking skates off.
I mean, not even why wouldn't you be? Why shouldn't you be? Tell me why you shouldn't be my fan. I don't have an answer, and Lucas Lee was an asshole. I don't have an answer.
Hey, and then he hit a nice 50-50 the whole way down, hit a board slide, a 50, then went back to the same shit, got too much speed, and wiped out. 2,000 points.
He wiped out real bad, too.
300, I think it was in kilometers or something.
And that's like when Ramona skates on his ass, too. She disappeared
she left. Like, she was like, where? Oh, or Scott was like, where's Ramona? Oh, she looked like she left.
And this is when he figures out what he's actually doing. Like he's actually fighting the 7 evil X's. He should have known the whole time. The signs have been everywhere. Like with Lucas Lee. Y'all see the tattoo on his neck? Mm-hmm. The 2, the second evil X. Everywhere he was at, there was 2 X's somewhere. There was always 2. It does that also when he's walking down the road later, and Roxy pops up on his ass. There's 4 X's all over the place.
Yeah, because
especially if you count the one on his jacket.
Then he just ignores it.
No, he punches her in the boob. And then she does some really corny ass lines, and she's like, "See you later." She's like, "If I come back, it's gonna be super serious." Yeah. What?
So after some exposition and some blah blah blah, we end up at our 3rd evil X.
Hold on, that exposition is actually really nice because he gets to see his ex for after a while. He sees Envy Adams, fucking Captain Marvel.
Will not be named.
Straight up, man. I didn't think it was Captain Marvel.
Well, even she's part of the 3rd evil X.
No. Just seeing the cutouts and everything, I didn't notice it was Captain Marvel. That's what I'm saying. I was like,
she was a lot cuter as Envy Adams, wasn't she?
It wasn't that. It's just like I'm guessing the really platinum blonde hair.
Yeah.
And maybe she was just a little bit younger.
I mean, she was also holding her face real different, and her hair was covering her head a different way.
But when I saw her, I was like, okay, now I can see it. So I was like, oh shit, because when I saw Brie Larson, I was actually thinking of another person. I'm not going to name it, but
talking about
girl from Pitch Perfect. I can't remember her name. The big girl.
Fat Amy?
Fat Amy.
Oh.
I was thinking Fat Amy.
What is her name? It's like Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson. That's what I was thinking.
Her name.
My
Fat
fault.
Amy.
Yeah, I was thinking the wrong person completely. But yeah. And that's when Black Sheep.
That's my shit.
Hey, you know Brie Larson, he actually at least sung it.
Yeah, in that movie.
In that part.
In most of the songs that you see the actors performing, they are performing those songs. Like another fun fact, Michael Cera is apparently a god on the guitar, and he kind of was teaching motherfuckers on set. And
how did he get beat in the bass battle then?
Because Michael Cera is kind of a god on the guitar, not Scott Pilgrim.
He is a god on the guitar though. He on the damn bass. He actually pretty nice, man. I love those bass battles, and they have really good bass the whole man.
So with the 3rd evil X, Todd
Ingram, the vegan.
I gotta say, this part of the movie, it turned into a JoJo episode. Because, like, he couldn't fight him straight up. The whole time.
He couldn't.
He was, like how he ended
got punched in the sky, man.
I sat there and
I'm waiting for the JoJo rep.
I'm waiting through the, like, I'm serious, you know?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to finish. I'm not
because, like, I saw that as, like, perfect example when he's laid out on the ground with the coffee. Right, because he done switched him and all that shit. It's like, you just drank half and half. Like, all this shit, like his one weakness, right? Tell me that ain't the JoJo episode. They're trying to figure out who the stand user is and how to beat their stand the whole time.
That sounds
right? Like, that's the very end of, like... I
wouldn't say JoJo. I would say, like, honestly, any anime where a person is overpowered and has to be clever about it.
Okay. I will admit, well,
Scott Pilgrim
if he has some glasses, if he did have some glasses, you gotta admit that.
Other than the Kawagari twins, what was the twins' name? I'm sorry.
The twins, Katayanagi.
He had to be clever for most of them, even the Roxy fight.
Yeah, the only ones he powered through were Katayanagi and Patel.
Oh no, he actually did get past what's his name? Fucking G-Man. Gideon Graves.
I'm gonna get into this just for a minute about Todd Ingram. Because this is my favorite X. I know number 2, Lucas Lee was yours. Yeah. Todd Ingram is my favorite X. Todd Ingram is Superman from Superman Returns.
Yep.
The shitty one where he picked up the island of Kryptonite. Is it that one?
It's with Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. I know.
Is that the one where he picks up the island of Kryptonite?
I'm guessing. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
I like Man of Steel more.
Man of Steel was awesome. Anyway.
Because that
let's not have that conversation because I don't like Superman. But Man of Steel was stellar. Steel was awesome. I'm sorry. Fuck anybody who doesn't like Man of Steel. That was my shit. Anyway.
Man of Steel episode coming soon.
No, it won't be. Todd, everybody's talked it to death. We'll, in 5 years, we'll do a Man of Steel episode when no one gives a shit anymore.
They have a Superman anime coming out. I think it premiered last night.
They have a Suicide Squad isekai that's coming.
They have a Stitch anime.
I want to watch it. I'd watch it.
Stitch anime?
Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that so loud.
Stitch anime.
Mm-hmm.
What?
All right.
What did you say? Anyway, so way the fuck off topic.
We were just here in the background.
Todd Ingram, number 3, is actually the boyfriend of Envy Adams.
And the bass guitar player.
And the bass guitar player of her band.
Clash of the Demon Head.
Clash at Demon Head.
Oh. I thought it was Clash of the Demon Head, but it's Clash at Demon Head.
Oh, I thought you said at. But anywho, yeah, Clash at Demon Head. So there's a weird connection between Ramona, obviously her ex, and Scott's ex. So there's a little bit of weird beef and tension there. Envy calls Scott Pilgrim and his garbage band, which is called the Sex Bombs.
The Sex Bombs!
We are the Sex Bombs! Anyway, so, and I love that fucking shit. So she calls them back, and of course they have Knives in tow with them. Scott has broken up with Knives at this point, and she is now dating young Neil. And in the band, what does young Neil play?
Nothing.
It's kind of a big question. Zelda, Tetris. Anywho, so she's kind of dating young Neil right now. So everybody gets to come to the backstage and meet the big mega stars Clash at Demon Head. They got Julie with them, and because Julie has 30 jobs or some shit like that, she works everywhere.
She's a friend of Envy Adams.
She's like a white Jamaican or something. She has every job ever. Fucking.
It's called jobs, Scott. Maybe you should get one. Like Jesus, I just want a coffee.
And his sister.
That's how Hotline Miami works. Like everywhere you go, it's the same dude. But there's a reason it's like that. It's fucked up.
Kind of like Nurse Joy and Ginny. Anyway, so they get him backstage, and the whole time that like Envy is trying to cut Ramona down, because she's over here, nice outfit, Ramona, looks affordable. And like every time she tries to cut Ramona down, Knives interrupts. I read your blog, Envy. I'm your biggest fan. And then it clicks on her. It just dawns on her that like Envy used to date Scott. And the whole thing made connection in her head. And she was like, I kissed the lips that kissed you.
Yes, but that was right before the meeting too, because young Neil spilled the beans and said, Scott and Envy used to date.
Right, but it didn't
dawn about the kissing part.
Right,
until then.
It didn't fully click. So she was like, oh shit, we have a lip connect. She's 17 and stupid. Mind you, at this point, this stupid 17-year-old has cut her hair to look something like Ramona's hair, and she's dyed it blue.
A streak of highlights blue. And vegan Superman.
And so when she reveals that she kissed the same lips that Envy Adams had kissed, Envy Adams looks over at motherfucking Todd and goes, do it. And fucking Todd, without hesitating, stands up and punches this 17-year-old in the fucking face. He hits her so fucking hard, he knocks the highlights out of her hair.
He punched the highlights out of her hair.
So pick that shit up. Pick it up.
Bruh, there was highlights on the wall. There was literally highlight, and she's knocked the fuck out. So of course this pisses Scott off, and so he decides he wants to throw hands with motherfucking Todd. Now, we hadn't got Todd's backstory yet. We don't know shit about what Todd can do, except we know he can punch the highlights out of somebody's hair. I don't know what kind of physics you have to have within your knuckles to do. That's some Kung Pao level punchery. That is.
You didn't kill her. You just knocked the highlights out of her hair.
Holy shit. So, Scott decides he's going to jump in for an attack. And and Todd, over here with powers like motherfucking Frieza, over here with powers like motherfucking Jean Grey, just lifts Scott up in the air, not even touching him. His fucking eyes turn white, hair starts to go up in the air. It's like, oh shit, what's going on?
He's a Super Saiyan.
So, we proceed with Todd whooping up on Scott's ass. Todd apparently has some kind of telekinetic powers, and these powers come from
being vegan. I'm better than you. What?
Apparently, all the curds and whey get in the way of everybody having telekinetic abilities. in that world.
But he's still
apparently you're not allowed to have dairy or the ovum of anything that has a face.
But the funny thing is, he was already powerful enough to punch a hole in the moon before he left for vegan camp, dating Ramona Flowers. He punched a hole in the moon,
like straight through it too.
Did they ever show
not
that?
not like
They showed that in the as a
comic,
as the graphic novel.
Well, yeah, okay.
That's how they showed that.
Bash the Stampede put a crater in the moon. Todd Ingram punched a hole through the moon
In high school.
10th grade. Then got telekinetic powers. He punched Scott so hard, he's lucky he's a beat-em-up character that landed on trash.
Todd beat the game already. That's what that was.
He's dead.
Yeah, Todd was on New Game Plus.
He might have been.
By the time we met him, Scott had just turned the game on by accident. He was playing Jumanji. Oh, where am I? He was not ready for that shit.
So Todd Ingram, with his vegan powers and his super strength, was whooping on Scott. So Scott had to be clever.
Yeah, he did.
Can I point something out? So with each fight, like if I'm dumb, I wanna ask this. But like, did Scott Pilgrim wear his wristbands everywhere? Or did they just show up on his arms when he was doing the fights?
I think it was when he was doing the fights because
like I'm not crazy.
Battle,
the first time like I watched it, I'm just like, because like that's what his character design. He wears a green shirt. He's got fucking and he's got the wristbands.
I think he wears them all the time, but he's normally got a jacket on.
Maybe that's it. But like even with the Battle of the Bands, I didn't notice them until the fight started. Like when he does the uppercut, like the Matt Mattel fight.
Going back and thinking about it, I think because when he grabs Steven Stills and tells him to chill the fuck out before he slaps him, I think he has them on there.
Hold on.
Maybe.
If that's another thing about this movie, that's going to be even better.
But he does the bass battle, and the bass battle...
that shit was like Guitar Hero.
It was Guitar Hero. It was 1 versus 2. And Todd Ingram, again...
Fucking savage on that shit, too.
When he's just... he hit the 3 walls and fucking got... He got Joe Higashi, guys. He got Joe Higashi.
I mean, Scott did get... folded in 3 walls. They showed it in slow-mo. You saw his head slap back 3 times. The best part of that was you could see Todd through the walls talking shit, and then he walked through the door. Like, how you 3 walls back talking shit, and you're still there, but you're walking through the door?
He's bad like that. He's a bad
motherfucker.
He's closing the doors behind him too.
So, how do we end up beating Todd if Todd's this fucking amazing? Can't even beat him in music.
Gave him half and half. Gave him a coffee with half and half.
Half and half?
Because he had to trick him with his mind dye or whatever.
Oh,
I thought about putting the soy in this one.
And so what does that do when Todd drinks?
The vegan police show up.
The vegan police with the green little lasers.
The Punisher showed up with a handgun.
I couldn't believe
it.
Yeah, literally, it was just his hand. See, finger blasting.
And and Todd Ingram's like, it was only I only get like 3 tries or 3 strikes, and the punishment.
He pulled his card on that shit.
Pull the tape. First offense: you knowingly ate gelato.
Gelato's not vegan.
That's eggs and milk, bitch.
And then you knowingly ingested a plate of veal and pasta.
No, it was chicken and pasta.
Was it chicken parmesan?
Chicken parmesan. It was a chicken parmesan. He was like, you knowingly ate chicken parmesan. He was like, chickens aren't vegan. They have a face.
Right. Like he knew he was fucked up for that one.
And then they were like, take away his powers. And like his hair went down and it looks so funny.
Oh,
it was so funny.
Like he wasn't cool no more. He was just like, oh.
And then Scott Pilgrim headbutted him. A nice headbutt too.
It was a very vicious headbutt. He knocked him in
You were be gone. Now you're about to be gone.
And knocked his ass into
that was a beat 'em up. That was a beat 'em up slogan right there, boy.
Absolutely. Like that was like I feel like Stallone would have said some shit like that if vegans were around in his time.
Say it like Stallone, if someone can say it like Stallone.
Perfect. Put it in the movie.
So yeah. So Todd gets beaten and Scott kind of right to death. 3,000 points. He dropped some coins, man. I would have picked that shit up. I'd have picked that shit up.
Scott didn't need him no more.
Well, Scott is about to explode. He feels like he's not being played, but he's like, damn, girl, like how many fucking people you've been with?
Said 7. I mean, shit.
But he was like, damn, am I gonna die? Like this, like he was like, can I get like a guide or something?
Can you number 3. Who the fuck is number 4?
Can you tell me like something about it?
He asked for a nice little laminate.
No, she said, "You want it laminated? Do you want 1 through 7?" And hey, you know what? She said no. And
he asked for a game guide. That's what that was.
Hey, he did ask for a game guide.
That bitch needed a game genie. He needed help.
So they go to an after party after Clash at Demon Head got blown. Well, one of the people got blown up. So they went to the after party to get to album heads or studio heads.
Yeah,
that's what they call it.
Rub elbows.
Yeah. So Scott and Ramona are fighting, and Ramona's 4th ex comes out. Roxy. You got a sexy face?
Roxy was this little blonde chick. May Whitman was the actress there. She little itty bitty short thing, full of sass, full of spunk, and will kick your fucking ass.
You know the funny thing is, Scott was like, "Why do you keep on saying exes?" Because he kept on saying ex-boyfriends.
He kept saying,
and she said exes, and he was like, "Why do you keep on saying that?" And it's immediately
she kicked him in the back of the fucking head. And so this was a pretty cool fight scene that we had here. Roxy had to force Scott to fight her, but in order to do so, she had to get through Ramona first. Originally, Ramona fucking pulls out a giant megaton hammer out of her purse,
which was really cool, and I thought it was really nice that she like tagged in. Like, that was kind of cool. Like his cat fight, but it was like that was cool. It was
a second player.
Player 2 jumped in, and Roxy had this bladed whip belt,
which was nice.
Super cool.
And she took away Ramona's shit, and she said, "You can't play like this, Ramona. You know your man got to beat me."
Yep, league rules. He has to fight. So she puppeteers Scott Pilgrim. Ramona jumps behind Scott and puppeteers his ass.
There was no punches. That woman got slapped.
Yeah, she got slapped. She got slapped and kicked until Roxy got good and pissed off and was like, "Fight your own battles, lazy ass," and fucking did a Nightcrawler teleport between them.
That was actually a really nice move.
Split them apart, and this was my favorite part of the movie. Not the movie, but of her fight scene, I should say, where she comes through with that vicious axe kick. She's about to drop that axe kick on his head and goes, "Your BF's about to get effed in the B."
It was a nice setup, but Ramona's one actually on Roxy, that was fucking nice.
Yeah, she snitched.
That shit was nice. That shit, she hit her so hard, she fucking hit the ground and bounced and then fell again.
I thought she was knocked out. I guess because of league rules, she was protected from outside.
She must have, because that motherfucker.
That shit knocked me out for a minute. I didn't get hit.
Roxy almost hit Scott with it, and Ramona's telling him the cheat code. It's behind her knee.
I ain't gonna get into the rest of that. Scott beat Roxy, with the power of sexual seduction. We'll leave it at that.
There you go. So
how Snoop Dogg say it? Sensual seduction. I'm gonna take my time. Anyway, go ahead.
We're gonna get to the song was good. Threshold was a good song.
Threshold was awesome.
But the twins,
Caddy and Nagi,
not the kaiju fight and Threshold.
Matt, set us up for the Caddy and Nagi.
I will admit this part of the movie is kind of a cop out for me. Like, it's the 7, the 7 X's, right?
Well, she has a sexy face.
I mean, he had 2.
And Kadawfi said it earlier. She had a tag team phase.
Ew.
Because, at this point, Scott should have been like,
her ass up too.
Scott should have been like, man, no. Because that was insane.
It's a fantasy for some people.
Hey.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
She, like I said, she had the sexy phase, and then she had the tag team phase.
Sexy. Yeah, Ramona had the sexy phase.
No clue. Gets it.
Yeah, that was so funny too. But yeah, so they because Clash and the Boys. Oh, you want
Crash and the Boys?
Crashing. I said Clash and the Boys.
The Clash of the Clash of the Bands.
Clash of the Bands.
Crash and the Boys.
Crash and the Boys got disintegrated.
The sex bombs moved along.
The sex bombs moved along. Mm-hmm. They got defaulted. They were like,
well, I think they won that anyway.
No, they got defaulted. Because if Crash and the Boys would have survived, they might have won.
Yeah, I like their songs better than Garbage. Both their, yeah, I'm sorry.
Their Garbage Truck is the shit,
Garbage
man.
Truck is the shit, but we hate you. Please die.
No, so sad.
So, tell me something. How were they gonna get? How was that fight gonna go if sex bombs wasn't a thing?
What do you mean?
That wouldn't happen.
Like the whole fight in general. Like I mean, like
which fight?
The kaiju fight.
Oh, okay.
Because like they have the battle, right?
Amp versus
How
Amp.
would that? How would that even work? It's just like,
it wouldn't have been an amp. Well, all right. If sex bombs wasn't a thing, then they wouldn't have been in the Battle of the Bands.
Right.
And if they were in the Battle of the Bands, they'd have an amp. So, amp versus, like, if...
What he's saying is, what if Crash and the Boys would have won? Like, that's what he's saying.
Crash and the Boys had amps.
So, how would the twins fight?
Like, how would they have gotten, like... You know, fighting Scott. How would the fight go? Because, like, say Ramona and Scott still get together, mm-hmm. right? He's not part of the band, right? How would in this story would that fucking go? Right. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole point is like the battle of the bands, right?
So because of the wildness of this story, I mean, it's really not unreasonable to believe that the Katayanagis would probably have that big ass van they have, that not van but bus that they have. That they probably would maybe have that set up with some speakers and amps, and
so that's
and they probably.
You're telling me that Scott would be walking down the road, they pull up in the van,
they would do a drive-by.
Like, wait, we're still saying no.
No, I mean, I said that it'd already be set up in the bus.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, it'd already be set up, and so they could do a drive-by. And so they just turn the shit on. They'd probably be playing while they're driving.
Not full kaiju, it's just the arm pops out and punches him on the sidewalk.
You know.
All right, so they get into the Amp versus Amp. They figure out when they get there that G-Man's there, and that it's Amp versus Amp. And Scott don't know who G-Man is, and he finally figures out who G-Man is. Gideon Graves.
G-Man's Gideon? Yeah, over there touching his girl in the face.
Well, he was the 7th X.
Fucker. I did not like Gideon, but I did like it. I liked the way that he was portrayed. He was funny.
He was the bad guy.
Like, hey, in all honesty,
you made me swallow my gum.
Like, if he was my boss, I'd be like, this motherfucker funny. Somebody gonna kill him, but this motherfucker is funny.
All right, so the twins and Scott going, because Scott's like, all right, it's time to get serious. Like, shit's about to go down because he sees G-Man, Gideon and Ramona being nice and having
trifling. Sorry. Ramona trifling.
I don't know why you say that. Why would you call Ramona trifling?
Because like her 7th X shows up and she immediately switches teams.
Is that what happened?
She does have something that actually gets into her head.
Yeah. He has some way of getting into her head.
That's evil. That's really evil. All right, so the fight happens, Threshold happens, the kaiju fight. I like the visuals because it showed like Scott having the green eye and the kaiju that was fighting for his team having the green eye, so it was like match, like same energy and shit like that. That's how he beat the dragons and the twins. That wasn't my favorite. That was honestly not my favorite.
They didn't really give you much to work with other than the fact they had great teamwork and could make a kaiju battle.
But what happened right after, when Gideon gave him the contracts, like, I'm not such a bad guy. I'm stealing your girl, but I'm not such a bad guy. And Scott's like, I don't want to do this.
Man, Steven still signed that paperwork so fast.
So fast.
Oh, man, he was like, bro, fuck you. I'm trying to get paper. You tripping.
Kim did the same thing.
Kim signed it, and it was like, well, y'all can't do the band without me. And it's like, Young Neil stepped up. Young Neil, like, bro, you ain't even showing up to practice.
Hey, but they fucked up, didn't they?
How so?
Remember the party? How long have they been playing? He's had us played for how long straight?
Doesn't matter. You got to earn that paper.
They're on the contract. Hold on, like they signed their lives away.
Hey, you're missing one really big part. And this is this right here is absolutely the best part of the whole movie. And it's because of the song. Under My Thumb by the Rolling Stones starts playing as soon as he opens the door to put Ramona in the limo. And I asked Kadawfi, I was like, is that intentionally? Because I thought that was like, I didn't think, I was like, in
all
my
the
mind,
music's intentional in this movie.
And I heard that song and I was like, oh my God. That's the fucking shit. Because I thought he was a bitch. He was an asshole. He was a little fucking like greedy little piece of shit. When he had that song on, I had to have respect. The same thing like the dude from Gangsta when he was talking about every time I come into work, I see the man that has the same face I'm fucking.
Okay, yeah. Let's not. Oh, yeah. Anyway. Woo, yeah. That was.
You know, MattMatt didn't hear that.
I know.
MattMatt was.
I'll tell him off. I'll tell him off air. We told the folks you were moving because you're moving.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I'm done moving. I'm done.
Yeah. Oh shit! Hey,
congratulations!
By the way, this is the first time all three couch potatoes have been back together since MattMatt had to start his move. Welcome back to Fighting Couch Potatoes.
Welcome back. All right, that song right there was like, yep, I can respect the man. I can absolutely respect this man because it was like, it was just perfect for me. No. And then when I can't believe you thought me, because he got an extra life after the twins. We skimmed over this part. He got a second life,
right? Which
was cool. It was like a beat 'em up. Hey, I can. If I die, I can come back.
He had enough points for an extra man. Now I want to jump past a lot of the goofy shit that they do in between all this because I think that's really cool and you should probably get to see those parts for yourself. But the G-Man fight. This the big one. This the real deal one.
Well, the second time is funny for me because like that really is him skipping all the dialogue. It's like fuck.
Yeah, motherfucker.
But I gotta like
skip.
No, honestly, when he died the first
time, the power
time,
of self-respect,
the power of love, and I was like, yep. When he died, I was like, oh man, he got that one up. I forgot about that. So he got the one up. I loved that he got everything. It was like he got everything right the second time. It was like when you lose in a battle the first time.
He knew what was going on.
And you get the next to life, and it fucking is like, oh, I know what to do.
He did the intro to the fucking thing. He talked to the band again, like all that shit.
I like how when you first got in the first time, and the band was, we are the Sex Bombs. We're here to sell out and make money and stuff. And the second time, it was, we are the Sex Bombs. We're here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's the shit, Steve. If you fucking semantics me right now.
No, it's semantics because she said.
He's about to semantics
I don't give
right
a fuck
now.
because it sounds better.
She said. Me right now. God damn it, Steve. Go ahead.
She said, we're the Sex Bombs and we're here to see Scott Pilgrim kick your ass.
That works, Steve.
That sounds better than fucking make sad shit and fucking make
that's what they said the first time. I was just kind of
Scott Pilgrim said that.
Semantics.
All right.
What's 2 plus 2, Steve?
Semantics. All right.
No, Steve, grab the syntax.
Semantics.
Okay. No, right. We need to blow some shit up. Stop.
All right, we gotta get to the second part because you know to me, him Gideon chewing the gum was like when the boss gets the second
phase,
not second phase or second win. That's what I was trying to think of because it was like
it took a healing on him.
He did take a fucking this is the second part because you saw 7,000 on the first part when he sliced him up and it was like okay, the thing's over. Knives Child's about to show up.
Whose sword was better? Scott's? Gideon's?
The second one, when he pulled it out after
that digital sword? That motherfucking
nice.
Pixel art sword? That was that. I like how he pulled it out. Gonna do a whole jutsu about it?
Did he pull it? Was that the...
Did he not? I can't do it. But did he not? And then pull that sword out? I love that shit. Again, I don't like Gideon that much, but I mean, damn. That actor did a great job playing the asshole that I didn't like. Like, damn, he was fun.
The song made me respect him just a little bit.
He talked so much shit. About the Chaos Theater being amazing. And it's like, oh, well, if my tastes don't humble your trashy ass at it, whatever. Fuck. He just talked so much shit every chance he got, down to the last stab wound. That motherfucker talks shit. Big fan of Gideon Graves at the end of the day.
I love the fatality they did to him. That was a nice fatality.
That was a soccer kick from hell, boy.
Hey, but them bringing back the the arcade game that they've done together was so cool.
You talking about with
Knives Chow?
Nigga Scott.
Mm-hmm. No, beforehand when they did.
Oh man, fuck! I thought you was giving me the layup. My fault.
Sorry, we can't do the layup.
I thought you was giving because you asked me to do the layup earlier.
But that's the layup anyway, because they did the tag team battle with the ninja, and then it was solo round.
Nigga Scott. Fucking Scott Pilgrim had to fight himself at the very end, and he kicks Knives and Ramona out the building.
It's like, this is my battle.
I got this, and they stand outside waiting quietly for Scott to come back either dead or alive, one way or the other. And instead, we get two Scotts walking out the building. We get Scott Pilgrim and Nigga Scott
walking out the building, talking,
shooting the shit. They getting ready to go to brunch and shit. Had a good old fashioned time. Now, you asked the question earlier, Liquid Gold Steve. Who was the best for Scott Pilgrim? Was it Knives Chow or was it Ramona Flowers?
Knives Chow. She was older.
MattMatt.
Knives Chow. She was older. Scott Pilgrim trifling. That's the whole reason this movie's a thing.
We're like in I think when this movie starts, you're like in the second or third volume of the book, mm-hmm. of the series or whatever,
which is really cool
because you're so far in, and I guess each, again, when I get the shit, I'll tell you guys more about it. But I guess each volume may have its own self-contained story that builds upon the next few stories. I don't know. It might be. I don't know. You might, whatever. So there's an alternate ending to this movie. So depending on who you think Scott should pick, there's an ending for you. There's one where he picks Ramona Flowers. There's one where he picks Knives Chow. The Knives Chow ending's a little bit sweeter. But I think he should have picked Ramona Flowers. She had purple hair. She was badass, carried a big-ass megaton hammer, and could do a fucking axe kick like that. Are you motherfuckers out of y'all's mind? You would pick Knives Chow? For real? Are y'all stupid? Motherfucking Knives Chow, who don't know who the fuck she is, out here getting the highlights punched out of her hair. Do you want to be around that chick for real that long? Get the fuck out of here. She's, no. She's 12 and she's a teeny bopper. No, fuck you. What the fuck wrong with y'all?
In reality, she's the oldest actor on the damn set.
Truly.
Except Chris Evans. Chris Evans was I think the oldest one.
No matter. He's still grinding to this day.
If y'all can't tell, we've been super duper excited about Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I've been telling Steve to watch it for a little while now, and he finally got around to it. And it's way better than he thought it was going to be. It's way better than I thought it was going to be. MattMatt, how you feel?
I love it.
MattMatt loves it. He loves it. Very, very emphatically, he loves it. He's telling us, well, no, I'm kidding.
Fuck him.
Fuck him. We have been the Fighting Couch Potatoes. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram if you guys want to check us out on social media. But if you need to find us to actually listen to us, check us out on anywhere that has podcasts. You stay classy. And thanks for stopping by.
Is that bad?